Step back in time and rediscover the Mother's Day gifts that once filled hearts and homes. These sweet treasures from the 1960s, 1980s are memories modern kids might never fully understand. In the 1960s through the 1980s, one of the most popular Mother's Day gifts was an Avon perfume bottle. But these weren't just ordinary perfumes. They were small pieces of art. Kids saved up allowances to buy glass bottles shaped like doves, cats, vintage cars, or elegant ladies in ball gowns. Each bottle contained a signature scent like Sweet Honesty or Topaz, but honestly, it was the whimsical bottle that mattered most. Moms displayed them proudly on dressers, often keeping them long after the perfume had evaporated. Avon ladies would arrive with catalogs, offering the excitement of flipping through pages of possibilities. Over the years, big box stores and luxury brands pushed Avon's neighborhood charm aside. Today's kids might see one and think it's a knick-knack from a thrift store, missing the deep thought behind it. Yet for many mothers, an Avon perfume bottle was a sparkling reminder that someone thought they deserved something beautiful, and they absolutely did. Long before store-bought gifts became the norm, kids often crafted handmade tissue box covers for Mother's Day. Some were stitched from plastic canvas and yarn, others were lovingly crocheted in bright, clashing colors. Craft kits sold at hobby shops helped kids create these quirky masterpieces during school art classes or rainy Saturday afternoons. Moms would proudly slip the covers over Kleenex boxes in living rooms, bedrooms, and even cars. Every slightly lopsided stitch told a story of effort, imagination, and pure devotion. In the 1970s and 80s, these covers weren't seen as tacky. They were tokens of pride. Over time, mass-produced decor pushed homemade crafts aside, and today's minimalist design trends might scoff at them. But back then, nothing said "I love you" like a crooked butterfly perched on a box of tissues. Maybe the real beauty wasn't in the flawless stitches. It was in the imperfect, unwavering love woven into every colorful square. One deeply cherished tradition was pinning a fresh corsage on Mom before heading to Sunday church services. In the 1960s through the early 1980s, corsages were essential Mother's Day attire. Red carnations honored living mothers, while white ones remembered those who had passed. Kids often helped pick out the blooms at local florists, proudly clutching wax paper-wrapped bundles on Saturday afternoon. Moms would beam as corsages were pinned to their blouses or dresses, a quiet floral badge of honor. Churches gleamed with seas of pinks, reds, and whites, a beautiful tribute visible from every pew. Over the years, formal traditions faded, church-going declined, and corsages became rarer. Today's children might not even recognize the custom, let alone its meaning. But those fragrant flowers spoke louder than any expensive gift. They said, "We honor you," in the most visible, heartfelt way possible. Sometimes, a single fresh bloom pinned close to the heart said more than 1,000 words. But before we pin the next memory, get ready. Coming up is a Mother's Day gift that jingled with every movement and told a story with every charm. In the 1960s through the 1980s, giving Mom a new charm for her bracelet was one of the sweetest Mother's Day traditions. Charm bracelets weren't just jewelry, they were stories. Each dangling piece represented a memory, a baby's birth, a family vacation, a graduation. Jewelry stores displayed rows of tiny gold and silver charms, baby carriages, heart, four-leaf clovers, each waiting to be chosen. Kids often spent weeks saving allowance money or picking the charm they thought captured the perfect sentiment. On Mother's Day morning, the bracelet would jingle with every new memory added. Over time, chunky bracelets fell out of fashion, replaced by sleek modern styles. Today, kids might not recognize the idea of building a bracelet piece by piece over years. But those old charm bracelets carried whole lives around Mom's wrist, a portable family scrapbook crafted from love and tiny glinting treasures. Maybe it's time we bring back gifts that grow richer with every passing year. Few gifts were more iconic from the 1970s and 1980s than a world's best mom mug. Sold in card shops, department stores, and even supermarkets, these thick ceramic mugs featured bright flowers, cartoon hearts, and cheesy but heartfelt messages. Kids loved picking out the biggest, boldest design they could find, imagining Mom sipping coffee or tea and thinking of them every morning. Some mugs even came with matching plates or tiny stuffed animals tucked inside. Moms proudly lined their kitchen counters or desks with them, sometimes keeping the same cracked mug for decades. Over time, personalized mugs gave way to fancier tumblers and mass-produced slogans. Today, kids might see them as outdated or laughably corny, but back then, they were everyday love letters disguised as dishware. Every sip reminded a mother that someone believed she truly was the best in the world. And what more beautiful message could you possibly give? Did you ever gift or receive a world's best mom mug? Share your story with us in the comments. Back before bath bombs took over, colorful bath bead sets were a dreamy Mother's Day gift from the 1960s through the 1980s. These tiny, pearl-like capsules, filled with fragrant oils, melted luxuriously into warm water. Gifted in plastic seashells, glass jars, or ornate containers with satin bows, bath beads promised an oasis of relaxation for hardworking moms. Kids adored picking out the prettiest pastel colors and sniffing scents like lavender, rose, or jasmine before choosing the perfect set. Many sets were marketed just for Mother's Day, complete with tags saying, "For the most special woman in the world." Over time, bath beads faded away, replaced by trendier, fizzier bath product. Today's kids might wonder what to even do with those little beads, but back then, they were an invitation. Take a moment just for you. Maybe simple indulgences like these, a few minutes of peace, a tub of lavender-scented dreams, deserve a comeback today. But up next, get ready. We'll unwrap a Mother's Day classic that made breakfasts fancier and a homemade treasure that filled kitchen walls with colorful love. In the 1970s and early 1980s, giving mom an electric warming tray for Mother's Day was considered both thoughtful and practical. These rectangular metal trays kept casseroles, dips, and side dishes warm during family gatherings. No microwave required. Available at stores like Sears or JCPenney, they were often decorated with faux wood grain, florals, or chrome finishes. Some even had matching cords and carrying handles, doubling as retro decor. Moms would plug them in before Sunday dinners or potlucks, proudly warming their famous lasagna or cheesy potatoes. Kids loved picking them out, thinking they were helping mom rest more. Today's kids likely wouldn't recognize the bulky plug-in plate or understand why someone would need one, but back then, it made hosting easier and more elegant. As kitchen tech evolved, warming trays faded away, replaced by sleek gadget. But for a generation of moms, this practical appliance, wrapped in floral paper, meant we see how hard you work and we want to help. For decades, no Mother's Day was complete without a handmade or store-bought embroidered wall sampler. Typically stitched onto linen or framed behind glass, these pieces featured sweet, sentimental phrases like, "Home is where mom is," or "Bless this house with love." Kids would either make them in school craft projects or pick one up at gift shop, choosing messages that felt just right. Many included floral borders, tiny hearts, or even quaint cross-stitched houses. Moms hung them proudly in kitchens, living rooms, and hallways, gentle reminders of their central role in the family. By the late 80s, decorative trends shifted, and samplers began to disappear from walls, replaced by posters or minimalistic prints. Today's kids may not see the appeal of stitched fabric art, but those wall samplers were physical affirmations. Daily reminders that love, effort, and home were stitched together by the same hands. They weren't just decor, they were declarations of love, framed and hung with pride. One popular and slightly underrated Mother's Day gift during the 1970s and 1980s was a pancake breakfast gift set. These packages often came with a non-stick skillet, pancake mix, syrup, and maybe even a spatula or pot holder with "Best Mom Ever" printed on it. They were marketed to encourage kids, with dad's help, to surprise mom with breakfast in bed. Stores like Woolworths and Montgomery Ward sold boxed sets wrapped in bows, making them feel festive and thoughtful. Pancake sets weren't about utility, they were about the moment. Flour on little noses, lopsided flapjacks, and syrupy kisses served on a tray. Over time, pre-made brunches and restaurant reservations replaced homemade breakfast traditions. Today, boxed gift sets like this are rarely seen, and making pancakes feels like an everyday act, not a special occasion. But in those earlier decades, giving the tools to create breakfast joy was a gift in itself, and moms never forgot the smiles that came with it. Next up, a golden gift that filled record players with love, and a forgotten tradition that was literally sung from the heart, one cassette tape at a time. From the late 1960s through the 1980s, giving mom a record album for Mother's Day was both heartfelt and stylish. music labels released Mother's Day editions or themed compilations featuring crooners like Perry Como, Anne Murray, Johnny Mathis, and the Carpenters. Album covers were often printed with roses, handwritten style fonts, or soft pastel borders, marketing directly to gift givers with titles like "To Mom, with Love." Department stores stocked display stands weeks before the holiday, and kids would sift through them looking for the perfect voice to say what they couldn't. Moms played these albums while cleaning, cooking, or simply relaxing with a cup of tea, often while humming along. As cassettes and CDs took over, and then digital streaming, the idea of gifting a physical record faded. Today's kids might not understand why anyone would wrap a vinyl disc, but back then, it was a love letter on a turntable, one that spun memories with every song. Did you ever give or receive a Mother's Day album? Which song still reminds you of your mom today? Share your favorite throwback tunes in the comments. Nothing said, "I love you," like a homemade coupon book in the 1970s or 80s. Children crafted them from construction paper, index cards, or pre-printed kits from school fairs. Inside, promises for chores, hugs, breakfast in bed, or one quiet hour. Some coupons were sweet, others hilarious, like "One Day Without Complaining." Kids decorated the covers with crayons and stickers, often spelling "Mom" in huge glittery letters. Moms never cashed them all in, not because they forgot, but because the gesture itself was enough. Tucked into kitchen drawers or between recipe books, these little books lingered for years. Over time, as digital gifts and store-bought cards became more common, the personal coupon book quietly vanished. Today's kids might opt for Venmo or fancy apps, but those handmade promises, carefully stapled together and full of love, carried the greatest value of all: time, effort, and intention. Bring this one back, and you'll give your mom more than chores. You'll give her joy. In the 1980s, one of the most original Mother's Day gifts was a personalized cassette tape, recorded right at home. Kids, and sometimes dads, would sit beside the stereo, hit record, and speak directly into the built-in mic. "Hi, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. We love you." Some even sang songs, read poems, or played their mom's favorite tracks recorded off the radio, static and all. Others used portable tape recorders to create audio diaries, joke skits, or sweet messages stitched together by static and sincerity. The final cassette was often slipped into a homemade case with decorated inserts and heartfelt titles like "Songs for My Mom" or "Mornings with You." Moms treasured these analog time capsules, often saving them for decades. As tech evolved, cassettes were replaced by video, then smartphones. But that homemade audio magic faded. Today's kids can send a text in a second, but back then, every press play was a love story you could hear. Coming up next, a gift that smelled like Sunday morning hugs, and another that helped moms relax, one gentle hum at a time. During the 1960s to 1980s, fancy bar soap sets were a go-to Mother's Day gift, sold in decorative boxes with lace trim, floral patterns, or gold embossing. These weren't everyday soaps. They were for special occasions, often kept untouched in bathroom drawers or linen cabinets. Brands like Yardley, Camay, and Avon created limited edition sets just for Mother's Day, complete with scents like lavender, rose, or jasmine. Kids loved the soft pastel packaging and often added a matching washcloth or scented sachet to complete the gift. Moms appreciated the gesture, not just for the soap, but because it offered a rare invitation to relax. Over time, as shower gels and liquid soaps became popular, these fragrant bars faded away. Today, kids might not see the appeal of a fancy bar of soap, but back then, it meant you deserve something beautiful just for you. Scented, sweet, and slightly impractical, that was part of the charm, and part of the love. In the 1970s and 1980s, a popular luxury gift for Mother's Day was a handheld electric back massager. Sold in catalogs, department stores, and even drugstores, these often came shaped like oversized hairbrushes or curved sticks with multiple speed settings. Some vibrated gently, others sounded like power tools, but either way, the promise was the same: rest. Kids saved their allowances or teamed up with siblings to buy one, proudly wrapping it in floral paper and placing it on Mom's pillow Sunday morning. While these gadgets weren't exactly spa quality, They gave tired moms an excuse to sit down for once, if only for 5 minutes. Over time, massage chairs and newer tech took over, and many of those clunky devices ended up in yard sales. Today's wellness culture may be fancier, but that old buzzing massager said something deeply timeless. You give so much, here's something to help you pause. It hummed with love and a little bit of relief. Framed family trees were a big Mother's Day hit in the late 70s and 80s. These illustrated keepsakes charted family names across generations, often printed on parchment-style paper with leafy scrolls, doves, or heritage crests. Some were hand-drawn by kids at school, others were ordered from catalogs and customized with typed names. Moms displayed them in hallways or dens, proud visual records of the roots they helped nurture. Kids loved presenting them, especially if a new baby had just been born, or a long-lost cousin was added to the tree. Over time, family trees moved online, and printed versions fell out of favor. Today's kids might struggle to trace their lineage past their grandparents, let alone chart it on paper. But those framed trees were more than decorative. They were sacred snapshots of connection. They reminded Mom that she was the trunk that held everything together. That's something worth framing, even now. Did your mom ever hang a family tree in the hallway, or keep one in a drawer? Tell us what yours looked like, or who helped build it, in the comments below. During the 1970s and early 1980s, ceramic nightlight lamps were a common and cherished Mother's Day gift. Shaped like owls, tulips, angels, or even kittens with glowing eyes, these small plug-in lamps added a warm, pastel glow to bedrooms or hallways. Kids picked them out at gift shops or craft fairs, wrapping them carefully in tissue paper, knowing Mom would place it right on her nightstand or bathroom counter. Many were hand-painted, some even personalized with "Love You, Mom" in cursive letters along the base. The light was soft, more symbolic than functional, but it represented calm, care, and comfort. Over time, touch lamps and sleek lighting designs replaced them. Today's kids might dismiss them as kitschy or outdated, but those glowing ceramics were filled with tenderness. They lit up quiet nights when moms were up late folding laundry or checking on sleeping kids. A little lamp glowing in the dark said, "I'm always here for you," and she always was. In the 1960s-1980s, giving Mom a porcelain teacup set was an elegant, heartfelt tradition. Gift shops displayed delicate cups with gold-trimmed saucers, often nestled in satin-lined boxes. Floral patterns, pastel hues, or even English rose motifs made them feel timeless and sophisticated. Kids carefully chose the one that looked like Mom, often pairing it with her favorite herbal tea or a handwritten note inviting her to relax. Moms kept them on kitchen shelves, in hutches, or at their bedside tables, sometimes sipping from them, sometimes just admiring them. They weren't everyday mugs, they were keepsakes. Over time, the tradition faded, replaced by tumblers or thermal mugs. Today's kids might not know what a teacup saucer is for, but back then, it was about the ritual, slowing down, holding something fragile and beautiful. It was a symbol. You deserve grace, you deserve rest, you deserve beauty. And for one quiet moment, that's exactly what Mom received. Before Pinterest boards and digital recipe apps, a wooden recipe box was one of the most thoughtful Mother's Day gifts a child could give. Often engraved with Mom's recipes or adorned with floral decals, these small boxes held generations of handwritten cards, some passed down, others newly added. Kids might fill the first few cards themselves, peanut butter sandwiches, or cereal with extra sugar. As the years passed, the box grew fuller, with family favorites, notes in Mom's handwriting, and smudges from sauce-covered fingers. It wasn't just a storage solution, it was a time capsule. Many came with alphabetical dividers and sat on kitchen counters like sacred scrolls. Over time, the tradition faded with technology. Today's kids swipe for recipes, not sift through index cards. But that old wooden box told a story of meals shared, traditions honored, and love ladled out one dish at a time. Every stain, smudge, and scribbled note made it even more priceless. We're almost there. But before we close the cookbook, let's pour a final round of forgotten gifts that made Mother's Day sparkle, shine, and speak straight from the heart. Back in the 1960s through the early 1980s, jeweled brooches were a Mother's Day staple. Tiny, glittering tokens that said elegance without saying a word. Department stores displayed trays of floral pins, bird shapes, cameo portraits, and butterfly designs made of rhinestones or faux pearls. Children chose the one that felt just like Mom, wrapping it in velvet-lined boxes with handwritten notes. She'd wear it to church, weddings, or even on her coat lapel for everyday errands. Some moms kept a whole jewelry box full of brooches, each with a story and a giver. Over time, these decorative pins went out of fashion, replaced by minimalist jewelry or digital gifts. But back then, a brooch wasn't just an accessory, it was a statement of pride, femininity, and love. When Mom pinned it on, she was really wearing a memory. Maybe one day, these vintage sparkles will come back, but even if they don't, their shine still lingers in our hearts. During the 1970s and 80s, giving Mom a decorative plaque or wall hanging was one of the most popular Mother's Day gestures. These weren't just signs, they were affirmations. A mother's love is forever. God could not be everywhere, so he made mothers. Or even sweet poems printed on wooden hearts or framed needlepoint. Sold at Hallmark stores, craft fairs, and church bazaars, they were hung in kitchens, bedrooms, or hallways where everyone could see them. Many were signed on the back in pencil with a child's name and date, making them sentimental heirlooms. Over time, home decor trends shifted toward modern minimalism, and these hard-on-the-wall gifts became rare. Today's kids might scroll past an Etsy sign, never thinking to hang words on the wall. But those plaques weren't just decorations, they were declarations. They told Mom, every single day, we see you, we love you, and you matter. And really, isn't that what Mother's Day is all about? Did your mom ever display a plaque or hanging sign you gave her for Mother's Day? What did it say? And does she still have it? Share your memory in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this walk through the sweet, sentimental gifts of the past. Which ones sparked a memory for you? Let's bring back the love, one tradition at a time. Until next time.